Episode 324. Midnight was peak dungeon running time. Of course, it was highly inconvenient for them to join the crowd with all the other players at that hour. Guild members were everywhere. If they spotted which dungeon you entered, they'd be waiting to ambush you when you came out. Yi Shu and his team had spent over 10 minutes just getting to the dungeon entrance, and with their cautious trek through the ravine, the other guilds had already finished a full run. Meanwhile, they had only just stepped inside. Tang Ru couldn't hold back any longer. She'd seen Tyrannical Ambition post a sharp new record, yet Ye Shu hadn't said a word about their own run.
There's no need for us to keep grinding it.
Why?
Because fighting them for dungeon records. That was never our goal in the first place. Think about it. Why do you play the game?
Oh.
That simple statement gave Tang Ru pause. Ye Shu simply doesn't care about breaking records. Setting records was just his means to an end, a way to get rare materials. Now that he has other ways to get them, of course he wouldn't obsess over the record. For someone of his stature to actually care about dungeon records in a newbie server, that would be a joke if word got out. Ye Shu didn't care, and Su Mucheng naturally didn't either. As for Chao Yifan, he was in the new server precisely to receive personal guidance from a top-tier expert. After just a few days following a top-tier player with his low-level 30-something alt, he already felt he'd gained immense benefits. The initial awkwardness with his new class had vanished in just a few days. Now, he was handling the Ghostblade with increasing ease. As for dungeon records, Chao Yifan couldn't care less about that nonsense. Even as a low-profile player, he was still a pro. He'd come to the new server to reach the next level. Competing with regular players to set a few dungeon records, that wasn't progress for him. So in the end, the only ones in their team who really cared about the records were probably Tang Ru and Steamed Bun. Bowsy was a simple soul. He loved gaming for the sheer joy of it with a fantastic attitude. He found fun everywhere in the game. Setting records was just one of many pleasures, nice to have, but no big deal if he missed out. He never got hung up on it. So, in the very end, the only one who truly cared about the records was Tang Ru. This girl's fiercely competitive. She loves the back and forth of record breaking, that feeling of constantly pushing past each other. Sure enough, while everyone else was indifferent to Tyrannical Ambition's impressive new record, Tang Ru was already asking about it. As for the purpose, when Ye Shu tossed that question her way, Tang Ru was stunned.
To beat you.
Tang Ru blurted it out after a moment's stunned silence. This was the very reason he, someone who initially had no interest in glory, had entered the game in the first place. The game had countless facets, yet Tang Ru's original purpose for playing never wavered. Whether he was running a dungeon or in a PK, he often found himself watching Ye Shu's Lord Grim, constantly comparing himself. The more he learned about the game, the more he realized just how vast the gap was between him and Ye Shu. But this didn't discourage him. First, figure out where the gap lies, then see just how big it is. For her, this was just the beginning. Tang Ru had already set aside that impulsive brute force approach of trying to surpass others through constant, frantic challenges. Now, he was executing his plan to surpass them with methodical precision. He studied under Ye Shu, observed the gap between them, and worked to shore up his own weaknesses. Tang Ru had her own calculations in mind. She wasn't like Steamed Bun Invasion, who'd go east if you said east, west if you said west, mindlessly grinning and goofing off all day long. Tang Ru's approach to the game was far from carefree. Compared to Steamed Bun Invasion's purely for fun attitude, she was leagues behind. But for Tang Ru, that was precisely what made it fun. If it was something that let Tang Ru relax, he'd probably just find it boring and no fun at all. After reminding Tang Ru of his gaming goal, Ye Shu asked,
Then what's the point of breaking the record?
"What's the point of breaking records?" Tang Ru was left speechless by the question. She hadn't been the one obsessed with it. After all, wasn't Ye Shu the one who'd started them all on this record-breaking spree in the first place? And here you are, practicing diligently for each dungeon every single day. And now you're asking what the point of record-breaking is.
What do you think setting a record is for?
Tang Ru shot back.
I'm here for the materials. Everyone knows that. And what about you guys?
Ye Shu asked.
To learn from a senior and improve my skills.
Chao Yifan answered without a moment's hesitation.
Playing with the boss is just more fun.
Steamed Bun Invasion said.
Heh.
Su Mucheng just smiled and said nothing.
Moo.
Tang Ru tried to recruit an ally. Among this pair, the two girls actually got along quite well. so Su Mucheng had no choice but to tell the truth.
I'll help him gather the materials.
The harsh truth was laid bare. Neither of these two cared about dungeon records, and those who did care about them were destined to walk a lonely path.
We're running the dungeon anyway. Might as well grab the record while we're at it.
Tang Ru was still fighting tooth and nail.
Yeah, that's true. But if we claim the record for ourselves now, those major guilds will just keep hounding us endlessly. It's a waste of time to deal with them.
Ye Shu had finally gotten to the real point. This, of course, was the true reason he'd chosen not to openly break the record. With his experience and skill, he wasn't afraid of being hunted down by these major guilds. If he were truly here just to play the game, he wouldn't mind having a proper go at it with the major guilds. But right now, fighting and killing with the big guilds, even if we wiped out all their players, what would it accomplish? Ye Shu hadn't come to the game just to mess around.
Setting a new dungeon record isn't the problem. It's the fallout that'll happen in this delicate situation. Dealing with that would waste too much of our time and energy. Right now, for instance, everyone else is at the dungeon entrance at midnight, ready to go in. But we're starting from the entrance to One Line Gorge, carefully making our way toward the dungeon. We're not afraid of these guild players, but fighting them isn't why any of us logged in to play this game. Fighting them is just a waste of our time and energy.
Boss, I think stealing their boss could be pretty fun too.
Steamed Bun Invasion was being very vocal at this moment.
Bowsy, this is a new server. Fighting over these little bosses is beneath us, don't you think? Let's level up fast and get to the heavenly domain. More bosses, more top-tier players, stronger guilds. That's where the real action is. Don't you think that's what makes it more fun?
Bowsy acknowledged, seeming to ponder. 5 seconds later, he suddenly shouted.
Level up, everyone. Let's go.
Tang Ru was speechless. Steamed Bun was way too easy to fool, she thought.
Right. Level up fast. Get to the heavenly domain.
As he spoke, Ye Shu sent another private message to Tang Ru.
The boss lady is still waiting for you in the heavenly domain.
Tang Ru was taken aback. Damn, this guy. He was actually reminding her not to neglect Chen Guo. Tang Ru actually wanted to play more with Chen Guo, but they were on different servers. Even sitting side by side, they were basically playing their own separate games. For now, their gaming lives and real lives just didn't intersect. Ye Shu seemed even more obsessed with the game than she was, yet he'd still noticed all this. This guy, first he lectures me on the game's purpose, and now he's playing the sympathy card. But the emotional appeal really is quite effective. After hearing this, Tang Ru found her desire to level up quickly suddenly burning bright. Dungeon records and the like were instantly tossed to the back of her mind. Given his personality, it's incredibly rare for him to deliberately step back from a dungeon record competition like this. Having thought it through, Tang Ru sent a reply to Ye Shu.
Oh, then let's level up fast.
That's more like it.
Speed up the leveling, everyone. Let's clear this dungeon faster.
Huh?
Ye Shu was stunned. Of course, leveling up fast means grinding dungeons, but grinding dungeons isn't that just competing for dungeon records? But then Ye Shu clicked on the new message. He opened it to find a playful, teasing emoji from Tang Ru.
Ha!
So she was deliberately messing with him. Ye Shu casually sent back a sweating emoji.
Keep at it, whatever your reason is.
You're the one who needs to work harder. Your goal is to defeat me, and that's a tall order.
It was a long while before Ye Shu received Tang Ru's reply.
Yeah, I've been searching for ages, and honestly no emoji can capture how I'm feeling right now.
Haha.
Ye Shu smiled. Given Tang Ru's competitive nature, it was impressive that she could accept this outcome with such calm. Ye Shu's opinion of her rose even higher. This girl wasn't the type to be stubbornly self-willed after all.